Yes, yes. Projectors in the building.
Projectors in the building. Oh, small intro. That's gonna be here. Patrick, just I want to acknowledge you first and thank you for being here. From the bottom of like my soul, because like our story, everything we've been through, like since I've met you in May. Was it in May?
It was in May. Early May.
Man, time flies.
It's incredible.
And I was like, it's so random. Do you want to tell the story, like, or should I tell it?
You go. No, you go for it.
Okay, okay. Like, basically, I found this guy online on Twitter.
Yep.
I didn't know his account existed. We were like both projectors, and he was in Bali, but he comes from exactly like he's literally my neighbor in London.
Incredible.
That's crazy, and that guy's a projector, and that guy's on the same wavelength, just like traveling the world, just being a projector, splenic projector.
It's incredible.
And like living the life and living by design, which is fucking inspiring, right?
Literally, it's incredible. Like Marco, obviously, he lives in London. He lives in the exact place that I was born, in the exact district. I'm from London, Newham, and he lives in Newham, London. And I just find that so amazing. And obviously, through the powers that be, the universe, it aligned, brought us together. This gentleman, saw me on X, posted my content about human design, projectors, etc. And yeah, he just felt compelled, I guess, to book a reading with me and, just dive deep into his design even more than he already knew. And he did that. We were on the Zoom call for about 2 hours and 20 minutes. It was crazy, and it flew by like it was nothing.
It flew by. It was crazy.
Such a deep dive into his, body graph, into his energy, and yeah, it's just such a privilege. The fact that we actually, met online, on X, to then doing a Zoom call together, now being in each other's presence. We're in the exact same city.
That's crazy.
Which is just incredible.
Crazy.
And yeah, like just making a little bit of content just to share with other projectors and other people who are interested with human design. It's just such a lovely thing. It's such a privilege. We had a lovely friend, New. Shout out to New.
Shout out to New. She's in Tampa right now. Shout out.
She's from the States, and she was here literally like a week or two ago, and it was just so nice to link up and meet. That was the first time I met Marco, and actually meeting just people online from human design, and it was such a beautiful thing, us all being projectors. The energy was just special. It's something that I actually struggle to put into words. It's more, a feeling that we get, and again, it brings us here today. We were delayed. We meant to do this last week, but we were tired. We didn't feel like doing it.
Yeah, we made it like that. We pulled through, and that's amazing.
Right.
We were like, okay, and I was so happy because the same morning I was like, I should text him. I was like, no, like he's gonna be disappointed. And like you texted me first, like, yo, bro, that's not gonna be today. I'm like, yes. And,
not
I was
today,
like,
bro.
He was that. I was like, this guy's more integrated. Like it's not like a game, but I'm like, oh, he's way more integrated. He took the lead, and he said like, no, it's not gonna be today. I was like, music to my ears. That's even what I told you. Well, yeah,
you did.
That's like the beauty of it. And
yeah.
To be fair, when I met you the first time, there was like this, I don't know, because we're both projectors, but there was like this complementary thing as, I'm Leo, you're Scorpio.
Wow.
And literally that's what I told you last time. It's like, that's the way I see it. It's Scorpios, you guys can see the unseen like so well.
Wow.
And you're literally, you're like the troops on like this earth to like flip the stones, flip everything where there's like a shadow, every object, everything that casts a shadow, you flip it. And like as the sun, like I have no arms, like I can't do that. So the best thing I can do is like, and that's why so many friendships are like Leos and Scorpios, or like just people who have that contrast, because like one is just like shining lights, and the other one is just taking that light and saying like, okay, but I can show you what's behind, and like I'm gonna be walking this world. And you're walking this world as a splenic projector,
wow.
Which is amazing, and you're carving the way. Trying to, but you're embodying, and that's amazing. From what I see and from what I get from people that I've worked with you, that I've also like sent your way, man, it's like a 5-star experience. Like for me, it was, and I was like, if you're watching, and honestly, like everyone who's asking me, do you do readings? I'm like, no, Patrick does readings. It's like it's not. it's not only reading, it's like you're activated, and
Wow.
everyone here
Wow.
is activating someone else, right?
Wow,
Like
wow.
nothing happens really in by chance. It's not like, oh, randomly this happened. It's like everything has a purpose. But this guy, for me, like carries potential. He's exactly where he should be in Bali. I want to know on the astro chart, like the astrocartography, where that is. That's for sure.
coming. That's coming.
That's coming. And that for me is that added thing, that added spark. You know, it's like, okay,
Right.
this guy, there's something there, and I wanna learn from him. I wanna work with him, and you know, maybe find a friend in him. And he's a
Wow.
he's a gooner, so that's it. And we're friends.
I appreciate you so much, Marco, man. I echo every single word, man. Like you mentioned so much about, you know, you being a Leo, me being a Scorpio, just that contrast, you know, those opposites, and the fact that we can learn so much from each other. It's just so incredible. And that one-to-one connections that you get with being a projector, I think that's just so amazing. We feel so seen, we feel so heard, we literally validate each other. We create this safe space that we can both just be our true selves. We're not here to condition each other on something nefarious or something that is not meant for us. We're here to be our true selves and elevate, and that's exactly what we did. And you know, the fact that all this happened online is, I think that's just such a testament. It's such a beautiful thing that, you know, in this world, there's just so many things that we just don't know, and it doesn't have to be tangible. Like I feel like a lot of us, we get stuck in our heads, we make decisions from our mind, you know, and that can really lead us in a direction which is not meant for us. And just to reiterate that point with human design, you know, experiment, trust your authority, trust your body, trust yourself to lead yourself, because you only have yourself. And of course, you know, in this life, there are so many people that you can meet and they can influence you and can bring you so much abundance and opportunities. But at the same time, deep down inside, you know, if you're self-projected, you just need to hear your own voice. You know, if you're splenic, you just need to trust that intuition when it comes to you in the moment. If you're a generator, like so many of you are, you know, trust your gut. It's right there for you. If that solar plexus is defined and your authority is emotional, you know that you have to give yourself even more time. So there's just incredible, you know, abundance from human design, and it reflects in both of us. It reflects in this relationship. Without human design, we wouldn't be here together today. So I think it's such a testament, and you know, what a gentleman this guy is. All the people that you've sent my way for readings, I can't thank you enough, Marco.
Very crazy, man. That's normal.
The content you make on X, can't thank you enough.
Just mirroring you, man. I love what you do.
We are literally echoing each other. It's such a projector thing to just guide naturally. And Marco does it for, you know, his own taste. He does it for his own flavor. He does it because that's the person that he is. He wants to express himself using that defined throat, using that voice of his to, you know.
You unlocked that, by the way. That's the thing, because like before I did like that reading with you, I already did readings in human design.
Wow.
I think the last one was like 2 years before that.
Wow.
But there was something that I got wrong. It was like a detail, but I thought like SPPs, like self-projected projectors, I thought the voice we had was just for ourselves to vet stuff, to say like, oh, I'm vetting this thing, and this is, you know, I'm just making a decision here.
Right.
But I didn't know I had a voice. And when you told me like, bro, you have a voice. And the moment you said that, I remember like in a week, I started to like tweet again about, you know, the projections and like everything that I wanted to share as like a 3-6. We're gonna talk about that later. But then like, and then dude, like hundreds of people started like liking, clicking, and I was like, shit, like not even hashtags and stuff. I was like, okay, so I'm tuned in. And then all the projectors came together. Fucking crazy, man.
This is the power of it. This is the power of your authority. This is the power of you. This is your
alignment.
Gift. This is alignment. This is a projector really needs to be heard, really needs to be appreciated and validated. Once a projector feels like that, it's such a beautiful thing. You become so expressive. You can talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be human design. You can talk about anything that lights you up, anything that you feel is necessary that you need to say. You can say it, and you can say it with your head held high. You know, there's so many times in our childhood we are conditioned to keep our voices low and, you know, not to talk and stuff like this. And unfortunately, that's just how the world was. And there's been so much conditioning, but we are the generation who is meant to break through that. And you can really see it. You can really feel it, you know.
Oh, yeah. Amen to that. Amen. Like, really, like, let's go.
It may not be mainstream, but we are doing what we feel, what we desire inside. You have that defined G center as well. So you know your identity. Mine's open, so I'm just floating still, but deep down inside, Marco, you know exactly what you want to do on this physical plane, and through your voice, you will actualize everything that is destined for you. And you can see it when I observe your ex, when I observe, you know, your Instagram, you as a person. It's so abundant, it's so beautiful, man. And long may this relationship continue and grow and build. And
that's the thing. Like by your openness and like your flow.
Yeah.
For someone like me who has like other centers defined, and for you they're not defined, and you know you can like merge them together.
Absolutely,
like,
electromagnetic channels.
Exactly. And for me, that's that beacon of light as well, to like bend and not be that, you know, that tree or that plant that's gonna like grow stiff,
100%.
but be very inspired by someone who can also say like, I'm fully integrated in this integration, so like I will float with that.
Wow.
And that doesn't mean I'm like less than someone else, because like I'm living by design.
And aren't you such a 3-6 as well? When you mentioned that, the fact that you're here to bend, you're not here to, you know, be on one path. The 3-6, that's double the third line energy, to go out there and learn from your trials and tribulations. And life will give you so many hurdles, how you overcome them, how you go through them. Some are gonna, you know, knock you down, but then some are gonna make you so strong. And the second time around, you're gonna know exactly what you need to do. And it's just such a beautiful energy to have that 3-6. And you know, in your life, trial and error, it's just the life for you. And
it is a lifestyle. That's true.
Literally, you can either see it as a negative thing and you can be down in the dumps, or you can see it as, wow, okay, how am I going to overcome this? How am I going to progress? And I'm sure your life experience has been so much 3-6.
Yes. I'm sure everyone with like a 3-line will relate to that, like for little sigh, like little, you know. But that's good. That's where the power is as well. And
100%.
I want to talk a bit more about it, as in,
Please.
you know, this is the clay that comes with, you know, the job, and like that clay is here is here for you to mold, you know, like you can really like make it something. And that could be your shadow, that could be like whatever experiences you had, whatever story or culture you want to bring into something so niche that's going to be maybe a process, maybe something that's going to come out later. And that's valid not only for like 3 lines, like for 6s obviously. True. Like, you know, 2 lines, they're cooking that in the background. 4 lines, they're doing that for like the community, and they need the feedback from everyone.
100%.
Line 1, like they obviously are the detectives, they will find about it, whatever happens, you know. And 5th line, like, is just they will fall in the right situations because they're heretics. So for us projectors, we have to acknowledge all that path, everything, that all the hardships, and say like, okay, I'm not gonna sit on it, I'm not gonna hide that shadow. It's my little clay thing. And the sculpture is quite ugly when you're like 30, but it gets more refined at some point, or like,
that's it.
And you carve it, and one day it looks awesome. For a 6th line, I know it's gonna be late.
Wow.
For some people at like 20, 30, you already like see quite vividly. That's why like I love your style. So like, okay, like he's carving himself, like everything starts to be vivid. Like,
that's a beautiful metaphor.
And that's the thing that I feel like about it. I'm like, you know, projectors, don't make the mistake to go out there and think that the answer is out there, because all your life has been that, you know, amazing journey where you're like unique. Everything is for you to take, so you can make your own format, which is going to be like niche because it's going to be you.
That's it.
Period. You know what I mean?
It's going to be you, period. And again, 100%. Just to link that back, like you mentioned, the 3-6, it's going to be you, period. This is the thing as well. If you have that 6 line, you're the role model. You don't need to look up to anyone. And that is it, full stop, period. Like, you're here to be that role model for yourself, for others. Other people will naturally be drawn to you. They will see you. But it's through you, only you, just as Marco mentioned. That is how you actualize. That is how you navigate this physical plane, because this is the physical plane. This is the world that we live in right now. We're here empirically. We can see, we can touch, smell, taste, all these different, you know, senses. And you as the role model, you're here to embody all of that. And it's up to, you know, for the first lines, even the second line, the third lines, the 4th lines, the 5th lines, we will all observe the 6th lines. We will all see, oh, is this how it's meant to be done? But then you have to relate it back to yourself. You have to put it back to your own. And being a projector, again, that's going to be quite a challenge, because you're going to be conditioned. You know, the generator is going to tell you what to do. Yeah. They're going to tell you how to be. But it's important for you to trust yourself, to trust your authority, wait for the invitation, not just waiting around, but wait until you are recognized. Wait until you have that charge, that validation. Once you feel validated, you can proceed. You can absolutely initiate, but only until you have been recognized. Don't just go out there and just start to do things, you know, like the manifestors. But
Oh yeah.
get that recognition first.
Get that recognition. And before we jump to that, I just want to know like about your lines and like your because like I'm self-projected 3/6, but like what are you? For people who don't know you, like
I'm a splenic projector, 4-1. So that 4-1 is a very potent profile, I would say, just because it's a juxtaposition, and I have the juxtaposition cross of risks. So I'm someone who is literally meant to play the game of life and take risks. And the people that are going to join me on this path, they have to be very aware of that, because it can derail them from their own path. And I mean this specifically when I talk about relationships. So the person that I'm probably going to end up with in my life, you know, they need to be able to give me that space and to be able to follow my lead, so to speak. It's a very interesting energy. It's something that even as I talk about it now, I still need to go through it. It's not something I can speculate of how it's going to be, but I will never know unless I'm in it. So it's like you can do all the theory, that's great, but what about in practice? And when I think about it in practice, it's a completely different thing. It's something where, because I'm a projector, I'm still open and stuff. But going back to that fourth line, it is about the community. It is about opportunity. It is about networking. It's about making connections. It's about meeting friends, whether it's online, X, Instagram, real life. It's all about, you know, community. It's all about building together with people. Without other people, I can never be successful. It's very important for me to have people in my life that will validate me, that will recognize me as a projector and, you know, I guess make me feel abundant. That first line is the foundation.
Oh yeah. That one hit. But that's what I love about you traveling. It's like the opportunity of living a nomadic life and living by design and finding that partner that will, you know, join you on that adventure and have that flexibility, but also be integrated to like take the challenges one by one and trust your drives and kind of like know what's up. That's amazing, you know, like people dream about it. Like in another life, maybe you'd have like a circus or something. You'd be moving around and be like, fuck, that's my lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Right.
And people be like, okay. For the normal folks, that's going to be like, wow, I cannot even, like, I cannot put my brain on it. It's like, it's something, the moment you want to control it, it's like, no, you're killing it. you're killing the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's not for everyone, but it's such a dreamy thing to like foresee that like, well, that's a wish for you. Cause like, I know that that person's going to be lucky. Because we see what you see from like your footages and the way you see Bali, the way you have that like taste of like deeper sense of like appreciating art, appreciating like refined things as a projector royalty as well. That goes with the mindset. It's like
and so
melting. Yeah, and so it is. And melting at that thing. And that's why, man, like I can't wait to see your content from Bali. And
I appreciate that. It's definitely going to be something special. It's something I'm deeply looking forward to. I feel like as well, purely from a human design point of view, I always feel like someone like me, with a reflector, it would probably be the best, just because the reflector they need their time alone. They need to rest. And then when they're ready to come with people, they can experience different things. But they always need to go back and be themselves. It's like a reflector is a projector on crack, basically.
On steroids.
On steroids. Let's just say, like, the reflector needs super rest. They need to be aware. They need to wait. They need to, you know, they wait 30 days to make a decision, for example.
It's
you know,
crazy.
we just have to wait for the invitation. But at the same time, if you're a reflector watching this, don't just wait 30 days. When you're waiting in that 30 days, practice the other authorities and how that reflects on you, because that's so important to see, you know, what authority you're going to use to decide, but then you would decide after that 30 days. So it is a long process, but at the same time, I think reflectors are so amazing and we don't have enough research on them. I don't have any reflector friends in my life. And if you're a reflector watching, please follow us and especially if you live in London. Oh my God, we would love to meet you.
Oh, we'd love to meet you. There's always room for reflectors.
Always,
like
we have a seat
yeah, we have a
there.
seat there. That's it. We have
Literally.
space. You can
It's
chill. We'll
amazing.
give you like.
But
We'll
yeah.
give you like royalty treatment, that's for sure.
That's
You're
for
gonna be
sure,
our
that's
baby.
for-
We're gonna love you. We're gonna like treat you like,
That's it.
you know, wow.
But Bali needs to happen, man. Like,
oh, that value needs to happen. That's for
100%.
sure. And I think like that's an invitation. That's
That is it.
definitely something. And with the community we have, and you know, we're so many projectors now,
Yeah.
like in this community, and people pop here and there. Like it's very rare, apart from us, to be in the same city. A lot of
Right.
people
Right.
interconnected from like same state, maybe. If you're in the U.S. or like in Europe, there's like different countries and all that. The interesting thing is like there's a reason for that, and the feeling that I get from that is that, you know, everyone has like their own turf and their
Right.
own like place where they can have like such an impact. You know, for us, we have to get invited, and that means that wherever you are, you'll get these invitations as well.
Right.
Not only online. Online is it is a funnel. It is a place where it's refined, but you know, when you really embody it and you really live by design, you'll get these opportunities.
no doubt. No
It's
doubt
gonna
about it.
happen. It's gonna happen, and I'm excited by that, because it's like if if we push the button and it's like all these like little bombs of love like exploding and making like a radius to like just
Wow.
to change the you know the life and
Right.
and really coach an entire circle of people to like really have an impact on like a whole grid. That's what I call the grid,
The
or the
grid,
plane.
yes.
The plane, but the grid. I like to say like we're maintenance people for the grid, because like literally it's everything that's around you, and it everything is a bit you know, because that quality of like getting these invitation, seeing a new contrast, taking something from a point A to a point B, and it doesn't have to be like always quote unquote like fully spiritual. It can be for like a business, it can be for a kind of like psychological coaching practice.
Right. Any domain.
Any domain, really, like contrast is for everything, even in
100%.
like especially in art.
Duality of life.
Duality
no doubt
of
about
life.
it. No doubt about it. And I love how you mentioned that as well, like this invitation back to Bali. And
Oh, yeah.
we mentioned earlier about astrocartography, and this is such an incredible thing that I think a lot of people have known before, but they don't really take massive notice to it, just because I think astrology is very, very powerful, and it's very, very overbearing, and it's so detailed, and there's just so much to it. Like even myself, as I sit here, I don't have the knowledge that I would expect to have, or even scratch the surface when it comes to astrology. But you know, I'm still learning. I've done a few readings as well, and it's something that I really, really enjoy, and I want to learn more. But astrocartography, and for example, your sun line, your moon line, you know, do you know where yours is? Do you?
Yeah, so like right now I'm on my moon line right
line.
now. The sun line is like just touching Lisbon, and then
Wow.
goes through Morocco. So that's where I'm
Wow.
going with my mom next
Beautiful,
week.
beautiful.
I think like Bali's on a lot of lines.
Right.
I said like retirement line because like there was many of them, Pluto included. So that's why
Wow.
it's like it's a place that's going to be intense for me. But I would love it.
Transformation.
Yeah, like my Venus line I think was Mexico. That's where
Wow.
I always go after my breakups. I'm like, I'm just gonna go like, you know what I mean?
Very interesting.
Yeah. So that's how I do it. I have a lot of different lines in the U.S. as well, but right now, what I found this year, and that's also what I found when I met you and like other projectors, is that when you cannot travel, people are going to be that line. And literally, when I needed my Jupiter line, who goes like through Italy,
Yeah.
through Germany, and like some really eastern spot, east enough so that I can't travel there because it's not really, there's no real places where I can go there.
Yeah.
Well, then like a friend, which I didn't know, like who lives in Munich, called me, and we had like the most like crazy like spiritual conversation about, you know, like where can like homes, and that's where my Jupiter was going through at that time, and I was
Incredible.
like, oh my days, like this is so amazing. Just before I had my Jupiter return as well, and I was like, okay, so if you cannot travel but you want to explore your lines, like definitely get a reading with like someone. If your line, if you have a line going through Bali, and you know Patrick's in Bali, like get a reading from him, because like he's gonna be literally that like pinpoint on the map. He's gonna be that beacon where that energy is gonna come through here, and you don't have to be physically there. Some people even believe that you can like get an object that's from there and bring it back, and that's gonna be tied to your line.
Powerful.
You know, so that's powerful. But there's like different degrees different shades, you know, different contrasts on how deep that can be. But maybe, you know, like for you and for yourself, like being from Jamaica and Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
Like that's two lines as well. And for someone, for your partner, your future partner, these two lines, they might carry some meaning, and that's gonna connect as well. So it's like we're like these detectives as well. And I'm not even a line one, but like putting dots together, I think that's very exciting for you. But like putting all these dots together and accepting that, there's so much there, and you cannot control that.
Wow.
But like when you look at it, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm shitting bricks. It's
That's
crazy.
a super interesting way of seeing it. I've never even considered it like that. This is why it's so cool to just, you know, a line 4, being with other people, and the way, you know, like, again, you being the Leo, me being the Scorpio, and how the contrast, like, I never knew that, I never looked at even astrocartography in that way, and you've really opened my mind up to something, and I was like, wow, that's so incredible. Like, imagine I go to Bali, so in Bali, my sun line runs through Indonesia, basically, not exactly through Bali, but near to Bali.
Wow.
So does my moon line. They both run through Indonesia. And so when I'm in Bali, when I'm in Indonesia and I'm giving readings, or I'm so abundant, I'm in the, you know, the place that makes me shine the brightest, I'm in a place that unlocks a lot of sides to me. And so if I give a reading from that energy, that could be more powerful, it could be more eye-opening to other people, and it can resonate in a different way compared to if I gave the reading in London, for example. So you've really just opened my mind to something up there, Marco. That's really cool, and I really appreciate
Well,
that.
man, as a splenic projector, for me, you are that's what I say about a splenic projector. So like, you guys are
Right.
the surgeon of life, because like you see things like so deeply as well. So like for you, it's like the edge is like super sharp. That's like a mega sword of like, I'm like Scorpio and splenic. It's like, you cut me like butter. I'm like, I'm like, okay, like I cannot like hide myself. Like all my things, like you could tell me like, might be a trauma there. I'd be like, yeah.
But I see
Yeah,
you.
you see you.
But you see me
I
too.
see you see me too.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel seen. I'm like, okay, like that carries truth, and like I want to sit on that. It's like I would rather like poke these little like things that I don't see
Right.
with someone than doing alone. Cause like alone, you know how it is. Like we're super good to like help people, but when it comes to us, sometimes it's like, yo, where am I at?
There we go.
like,
It's difficult.
Where is that person? You know, depending on
Especially with the open heart. Oh my goodness.
open heart.
That open heart center, a lot of people will know about this. I think it's something close to almost 70% of the total population has an open heart center. So our willpower, you know, our self-esteem, actually, we are completely dependent on other people validating that for us. And that can be a dangerous thing, depending on the person we are, depending on the place we're living in. Like, you can imagine, for example, you know, someone who's of color living in a European-dominated place, especially when it comes to physical beauty and these kind of things, it can really make someone feel a type of way, and they may not know themselves just because of their location, and so that can really affect someone. And it goes so much more deeper than that. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you have that open heart, know that you have nothing to prove. That is
true.
the key.
Yeah.
That's the key. And it's really hard actually to know this in the moment, especially when you're in a low vibration. If you're a projector, you may feel bitterness, but know that that doesn't define you. It's just duality, and it's going to show you success on the flip side, but you have nothing to prove in this life. And it took me a while to understand that. Even to this day, I'm still combating this, but you know, knowing that I don't have anything to prove, I don't have to live the white picket fence life and have, you know, a wife and kids and do it in this way that society tells me. I can do it in my way. And, you know, once I really learnt that and I embodied that, it completely opened my eyes to a whole new realm. And I think this is something which is so important for other people to understand as well. It's just that you can be whatever you want to be, but you just have to believe it first. And it can be easier said than done, because people, parents, friends, there's so many, your society, your government, everyone, your boss, that everyone's telling you to do it this way. But inside, you know you want to do it that way. What are you going to choose? Are you going to choose yourself, or are you going to choose others? That is the biggest question.
That's the thing. At the end of the day, that's the biggest thing for us. It's like,
Really?
Are you gonna take that leap of faith? And you know, there's no tippy-toeing into it. You can really like start considering that. You know, for some people, of course, depending on like the motivation and all that, everyone is different. But yeah, the closer you are to yourself, like we say, you're born alone, you die alone.
Wow.
You know, like in a way, yes and no, because you get conditioned from the very first moment, the first person who takes you in their arms, etc.
Incredible.
That these moments, you know, they carry so much weight. A lot of people say like babies cry when they're born because like they start to breathe, etc. I always say like babies cry because they're like, where the fuck am I? Like they come from like a place that's like so open, full of colors, where they were literally a soul,
Wow.
and everything was so fluid, and then they come in a biological body.
Wow.
You know, with like
There we go.
density and like
Conditioning.
the conditioning,
Yep.
really, they fucking cry. They're like, what the fuck is that shit? You know, it's like Burger King. You know what I mean? Like, yo, so.
It's incredible. Like, but I love how you mentioned motivation, and we both have innocence motivation.
Oh my days.
And so, you know,
We have no
the
idea
thing
what we're doing.
that kind of fits on nicely to what you were saying, actually.
We have no idea what we're doing.
Because with innocence motivation, there's no agenda here. It's literally just go with yourself. Just go with within. That's just the best thing. The best advice you can give someone with innocence motivation is don't listen to what anyone's saying. Just go. Just literally go and do stuff. And the best thing about innocence motivation is even if you don't have splenic awareness or whatever authority you have, innocence motivation makes you focus on the now. It makes you focus on right now. It brings you to the present moment and tells you that go with the now. Stop thinking about the future. That's desire transference, you know. Stop thinking about the past. Stop hoping. Stop, you know, needing
Exactly.
things. Just go with life.
Take
and
it.
Take
it fully. Take that experience as it, you know, if it was the only thing right now.
Wow.
And the thing that I love about spirituality and human design is really, it is, you know, human design brings you that accountability.
Right.
That it says like, okay, you can be everything, nothing. And in a way, when you really dig deep in your design and you decide to like take that shape boldly, like saying like, I'm an NPC. You know, you're gonna laugh. It's like, this is who I am. And it feels quirky at first because it's like, I'm just gonna draw my own boundaries and like create a character that maybe might not be me at that instant, but like it will feel right, you know? Well, then like you really find yourself in a place where you're like everything and nothing. And that contrast is it holds so much power. You're like,
Wow.
you're like, okay, like I feel, you know, perfectly imperfect.
Wow.
I feel like
Liberating.
yeah,
Literally.
I feel free and tied by something I love. You know, I feel like integrated in disintegration, and you play with that, and you're like, wow, that juice.
Man,
you know what
love
I mean?
that. I love how you said play with that. That
Yeah.
is, guys, in life, man, just playing. Like this life, it really tries to bring us down. We have bills.
It's true. Oh my
we
God.
have this stress.
Word.
We have that stress. We're only here once, guys. Just play.
Yeah, play
just
with that.
see what this life is for you. Like even listening, you don't have to listen to us. You don't have to listen to anything. Even human design, astrology.
Yeah.
Just go out there and play. Just go out there and do what you feel is natural, regardless of if you're a Scorpio or you're a projector.
Exactly.
Just go out there and play.
Yeah.
Because this life, it will bring you so much that you can't even comprehend. And too many times in life, we try to comprehend. We try to know everything. This is why gate 61 is my favorite gate in human design, because life is a mystery. Just go out there, go and play, go and do stuff.
yeah.
Do what comes natural. And wherever that will take you is where it's meant to take you. And that is literally like, basically a mic drop.
It is,
It's
and
perfect.
with that, I'm just gonna take a small break because one of the cameras has no battery.
Oh, no.
So we're gonna take a small break, and we're gonna come back like in a second. I'm gonna clap my hands and cut there.
Cool.
Before that, we were saying like, yeah, like experiment for projectors. That's everything. Like do it wrong.
Do it wrong.
You know, like
Perfect, Marco. Do it
Play
wrong.
with
I
it.
love how you said that. Do it wrong, because in life we're conditioned, you know, to always be doing it this way or do it right, or no, make sure you get done the first time. Like, hell no, man. Just go out there and just do stuff. Do it wrong if you have to. You know, if you're a 3-6 especially, do it wrong, you know, because you going through that experience, you're going to do it right in your way, not in the way that someone else is telling you. And I think in life as a general, like, we're not here to, you know, follow a script. We're not here to know what tomorrow is going to bring. Of course, a lot of us want to have security because, you know, we want to survive, we want to live, we want to have family, we want to have house, all these kind of things.
Yeah.
And of course, these are amazing aspirations to have. But don't forget that, you know, your ancestors didn't think about that. They were just thinking about the next day and the next day and the next day. And they got to where they got to, which means you got to where you got to. So don't think too much about it.
Absolutely.
Just live the life.
And live the life, and live the life by design, which is going to bring you exactly what you need. So for us, it's not like energy with a big E, but it comes with other recognition, other invitations. Money becomes like fluid as well, and like these things, they're just here to sustain your design. That's why we're so lucky. And I want to talk about this with you, like, 2027.
Wow.
Like that's a big topic, and sure, we don't know what the future holds, but that calling, that mega invitation that all the projectors have had in the past few years, and we've seen a lot of us coming together and understanding that there is something there.
Huge.
In contrast. And let's talk about, let's open first with 2027. I want to know your point of view about it, and how that gate's going to be, how that shift with
2027 is huge. This is, wow. So obviously the 400 years have passed. We were in a different cross. We're going to enter the cross of the sleeping phoenix. And so for the next 400 years, it's going to be about the individual. And this is key, guys, because right now, we're in this collective space, and, a lot of these collective institutions are going to crumble. They're going to crumble. So it means that you really need to focus on yourself. It's highly important, especially no matter what, energy type you are, you have to look within now, guys. This is really important, because if you don't, life is going to get very hard. It's going to get even more hard in the terms of, AI is here. It's doing everything for us, So many people are losing their livelihoods and stuff like this, but you have to try and bring something from within, something that it's been calling you, that thing that you keep ignoring, or that you should do. Now is the time to do it. I'm not saying quit your job and, go homeless, this type of thing. This is silly, of course, but we all have 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
We can partition some time towards developing ourselves, developing our skill set, developing that burning sensation within us that is telling us, go for this. If you're a generator, you know what your gut instinct is telling you. If you're a projector, people are validating you. They're seeing you, appreciating you in a way that you probably know. And by now, especially if you're getting the constant recognition, people keep telling you, oh, you should talk about this.
Yeah.
I love it when you talk about that. Oh, you should do this, you should do that. Don't ignore it. Look at it, because there could be something there that, it's going to unlock something for you. And again, if you're a projector, it's all about guidance. In my opinion, you're here to guide, whether it's through human design, whether it's through being a teacher, whether it's through being a consultant. You're here to guide other people in some way. So that is your gift, number one. But back to the cross of the sleeping phoenix, we need to wake up, guys. We need to rise from the ashes. We need to ascend here. Individually. It may sound counterproductive in the fact that, they always tell us, family is important. And don't get me wrong, family is important. The fourth line, having that community is very important. But you need to do it from your own perspective, from your true self, from your heart, from that defined G center, from your gut, from your spleen, from whatever makes you an individual. Go with that and bring your skill set, bring your gift to the world, because now the world is changing, and you are going to change it. You, yes, you.
Yes, you, exactly.
and
this is, I want to loop back to what IJD said about, Pluto in Aquarius, and it's going to be a niche market, and everything is like compartmented so that it would fit like smaller sizes for like things that are more like precise and, carry more weight, or a different weight than it was before. So all these big corps are going to go down, that's for sure. But in the same way, for example, I don't care to like buy clothes for H&M anymore, like fast fashion. And I really love someone who would like create a special cashmere garment. And I'm like, oh, the way they sourced it, the story of this company, which only sells that. It's like, it's so drawing. And that's like what the generators do, We don't even have energy for us to like always create like mega companies for us. But we're going to do the same thing with like guiding. It doesn't mean it has to be like, oh, the full package, like, 360 coach, we're going to change your lifestyle. Maybe it's like something really precise. Maybe it's like with human design. Maybe it's about like these little shades within a market, within like a special moment in time, within like a special culture.
100%.
White people are going to do it different than black people for like different communities. And like, we're going to see much more shades in cultures, maybe
no doubt.
China's going to rise up in a different way, where it's not going to be like, oh, they're one block.
Who knows?
that's going to be really interesting as well.
That's such a great point you make there, Marco. Like, you could be that person for your, you know, ethnicity or your group, you know, your domain. You can be that person but you have to just believe in yourself first, you know. There are so many people out there, so many creators pushing their gifts, you know, pushing their skill sets, and they are being the spokesperson for their own little community. And how beautiful is that? Anyone can have a community, but if you believe in yourself, if you have something that, you know, you can share with people to help. But remember, it's coming from the individual, it's coming from you. That's the most important thing here. And that's why we're entering that phase, you know, the cross of the sleeping phoenix. We're rising up as the individual. We're breaking through with our gifts, with our, you know, that thing, that burning desire that's coming out of you. You know what it is, you know. I can't tell you what it is, even as a human design coach, or, you know, even as someone who wants to help you, I can't tell you what your gift is. That's something that you will know. And, you know, you go on X, you can see so many people who are just so abundant in what they do, you know. It's so incredible. Jade, she's so incredible in what she's doing and the community she has and helping people with human design, with astrology. There are so many people out there, you know. Go listen to them, because they can trigger something. They can be the catalyst to just tick that light bulb.
Exactly.
That splenic eureka moment. And then you can follow through, you know, and then you can bring something that you have within you. And so this is what social media is about. This is why we're all here together, is to learn from each other and to spark each other. But know that this thing is going to come from you, from within. Yeah. And that's very important.
And when people, even like IJ, like you mentioned, like speak about, you know, destruction and like the end of the old world. Wow. It's more about like losing the mask, really. It's
That's
like you can not take your shape. It's totally fine. You can, you know, as a 3-line, I know that more than anyone else. Like you can get there by, you know, fucking up, and the masks are gonna fall one by one. It's like, well, that's not me. Well, that's not me, and get towards yourself. But the thing is, like the quicker you're and bolder, you kind of like go towards that direction. Say like, okay, it doesn't have to make sense, but I'm gonna go there and be myself. Perfect. And really come back to my individuality, to be an even like better light to everyone else, or like to a community or something. You're gonna find your size.
Perfect.
And like I just wanna quote like one of my mentor for meditation always told me, like, Marco, you don't have to be like the sunshine. You don't have to like shine light for everyone at all, especially because you have no energy. You can just be a light bulb. You can have light, but know exactly where that limit is, and know exactly how much light you can give, how you give it, what's your frequency, what's your color. And you know, like there's like some type of gas as well in light bulbs. So as a projector, like that speaks to us, because like we would burn if we were really the sun. You know, like someone tell me like, oh, you're a sunshine. I'm like, yeah, but in 2 hours I'm in bed. You know what I mean? That's the thing. But like as a light bulb, it's like, yeah, okay, like it is it's on and off, but it's also a marathon, and it's also like there's moment with, moment without. That's for me to decide, and people are gonna align with that. And with, you know, 2027, with the Phoenix, with all this narrative coming and the world shifting, people are gonna need us, because it's more generators than projectors. You can already start seeing it, and I remember we had this conversation. Like you can see it like on Amazon or like marketplaces. A lot of people are gonna sell the same stuff or kind of like copy everyone else, and it's gonna the monkey mind, literally. People work with their brain. Are gonna say like, oh, survive, and doing like copy surviving, and create so much noise, so much waste, so much like undesigned paradigms, you know, like undesigned moments for like this planet, for themselves, that they're gonna fall. They're gonna fall, and they're gonna need coaching. They're gonna need guidance, as in like, how can I be myself and still like, you know, be part of this journey on Earth, on my journey, but also like in this conjuncture with like going with that flow, not against it. So that's gonna be massive for us.
Huge.
That's literally what guiding is. So it's not something like you have like a decent window to transition from now to 2027, really decent, you know, but it's for you to like take it to like really go with like what you find, and slowly open like different windows and say, okay, I'm feeling myself, and you'll see it more and more.
No doubt about it.
You don't have, it's much more going to be about unlearning than learning for certain of y'all, because you're sitting on it. You've been sitting on that gold for your entire life.
You have.
and you just open it and you realize it was all there all along.
All along.
You know, it's like you don't have to be someone so far from who you are. You just have to be yourself fully.
Be yourself.
And the only thing that could hurt is that when you're yourself fully, yes, of course, the critics and like whatever comes from the mind or from outside is much more like piercing and vivid as well. But so is your aura.
100%.
And you know that. So by knowing that really and like crossing that with your golden path, you know that like there is potential for you there.
So powerful.
That's really the highlight of this,
It's
in my
just
opinion.
so powerful. It's so powerful. What you said there, I love that ending bit. You know, you're going to lose friends.
Yeah.
Your old life is going to basically die. It's going to happen. The more you step into your true self, you will lose friends. You will lose all those comforts that you know. You're going to lose it. But you're actually going to be okay with losing it, because where you're going, you don't even know. And the fact that you don't know is what's going to motivate you to keep going there and to keep diving deep and to keep, you know, transforming, metamorphing and changing. Because where you're going, guys, it's going to be so amazing. It's going to be so abundant. I can't even comprehend it. You can't comprehend it. But the only thing you can do is just keep going. And those people who don't recognize you anymore, the friends that you lose, even family members as well. Some people will not want to support your journey. And are you okay with sacrificing them? That's something you have to make for yourself. But, you know, don't have the regrets in life. Don't be sitting here in 20, 30 years time thinking, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that. Do it now whilst you can, you know. That's the best thing to say about this, you know. That's the best thing to say about human design and just being yourself in general, is just don't have regrets of living the life that you want to live.
Yeah, and the word there that I loved that also was mentioned online, I think is like IJ'd as well. It's like sovereign.
Sovereignty.
Going with the royalty mindset, it's like, you know, you're in the courtyard already. You don't have to like own 10,000 kingdoms, go at war, etc. You are in the courtyard. You are there waiting, and you're gonna get the invitations, and that's gonna speak to someone there who holds whatever power he or she or them hold. You know what I mean? But at that time, they're gonna know more than you. And that feeling for you is gonna mean the world. It's gonna mean the world, and and the impact you're gonna have as a projector is much more than a Gandhi or someone who had to broadcast like Wi-Fi and keep people. It's not gonna be like you and the crowds. It's gonna be like you one-on-one with like super powerful people, super powerful invitations, things that are gonna unlock for you entire gardens and entire like countries and entire fields of consciousness, entire grid places for you to explore and fully be yourself and like construct that network of trusted people, trusted because they're by design, you know, following that same expression, accepting life with a big L, living life, you know. And for me, that's the most wonderful thing, really. It's like, it's the promise that we don't have to like go back to school. We don't have to like open books anymore about like the old world and like know about like an old general or about like history, which was so necessary for like old patterns to construct a brain and values and all that.
Right.
New values are like so interconnected and so fluid, and like if humans want to express as like souls and bodies, and it's about time. It's about time that we all jump in that swimming pool. In that consciousness, you know, it's about time, and you're jumping, and I'm gonna come to Bali, you know, like I said, manifesting like 2025. I know, like in 25th, I'm gonna go to that place.
Look at that. But it's about time. I love that. It's about time. That's what it's about.
Time.
It's about time, because all we have is now, guys. All we have is now. I love that. That's a great way to just sign this. It's about time.
Man, I love you so much. I'm so happy that
Marco, I appreciate
that we
this,
did
man.
this, and like I feel like part 2 is gonna be in Bali 100%.
It's gonna be incredible, man. Next time we have a rice field behind us, some coconuts.
Oh, coconut! Let's go, man. With the monkeys, the bikes.
Monkeys.
Oh man, that's for sure.
It's gonna be a vibe, dude. No, I appreciate this so much, man. One projector to another, the recognition, the love, you know, the relationship, the bond, the electromagnetism. Guys, this is what it's about, you know, being a projector. just knowing yourself, knowing human design, and being open to esoteric knowledge, occult knowledge, astrology, Reiki, human design. It doesn't matter what it is, guys. Just trying new things to have a new outcome. I think this is so important, guys. And, you know, just like you guys watching this, you know about human design, you know about this kind of knowledge. So we're all in this together. Let's help each other. Let's support each other. But let's also recognize ourselves. So important, guys. Know yourself, know your gifts, and use that to propel yourselves to what's destined for you. And what's destined for you is abundance.
And so it is. And so it is.
And so it is. It's about time. Marco.
Man, we're going to end up on that. I'm going to give you a massive hug. I love you, brother.
Legend, bro. Absolute legend, man. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so
Always
much.
Always welcome. Namaste.
Namaste, bro. Wow.